Please welcome to the stage a man who enjoys racing old Japanese sports cars in his spare time, Senior Vice President with Miles Partnership, Nate Huff.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money
Every time I step All right, this should be fun. 7 minutes. I don't think I've ever gotten walk-up music. I don't think I've ever hit lead-off, so this is probably as close to my dream as I ever get. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence and travel today. And I'm guessing when most of you guys think of artificial intelligence, we go right here. We get a little bit negative. We get really negative. But I'm here to tell you that artificial intelligence can actually be very warm and fuzzy. Artificial intelligence is going to be a critical part to the future of our industry. In fact, it's been identified as a mega trend that's actually going to drive the evolution of the marketing that you do and how consumers interact with brands. So what are we going to do today in 7 minutes? We're going to look at the building blocks of AI. We're going to talk about voice and intelligent assistants, which are bringing AI to the masses. We're going to look at how our industry needs to marry that high tech with high touch that makes hospitality hospitality. We're going to touch on a few non-Terminator related challenges and hopefully give you guys a couple of takeaways. So let's start with what artificial intelligence is. And in essence, it's computer processes, systems, programs that are doing things that used to require human intelligence. So, a couple building blocks of that. At the root of it, we've got big data, but big data is just data. On top of that, we put machine learning, which is the ability to actually process data sequentially and then marry that with language and image processing that has grown significantly in terms of advancement over the last 5 years, and then ultimately express that out in the agents and the bots that we interact with as consumers that then filter back into these building blocks. And then there's another like 20 other things that I don't understand and we don't need to understand here. So ultimately, what makes it different from a traditional computer program? It's the idea that artificial intelligence doesn't wait for you to give it a problem. It anticipates problems. It proactively communicates. It assesses a complex range of options and solutions that go beyond its initial programming, and it learns over time. It considers your past behaviors. So that's what makes it different. And the hotel folks in here are actually some of the earliest adopters of AI. When we look at revenue management systems and yield management systems, that is really at the forefront of the evolution of AI in our industry, and it's becoming increasingly accessible. So this isn't new, it just has a new name. So what's bringing it kind of to the surface, to the masses? It's really the marriage of these two things, voice and intelligent assistants. So we'll start with the assistants, and you've got Apple with Siri, Google Assistant, Cortana, Alexa. Google and Apple really dominate in terms of the mobile device space. Alexa and Google are dominating at home in terms of kind of the home speaker space. Microsoft continues to produce products that no one uses. And then we get into the smart speaker space. And I've mentioned this many times in the past. Last year, Alexa was the #1 downloaded app on Christmas Day, and Google Home was just slightly behind it. And really, Google Home and Amazon are dominating that home space, but Apple is growing quickly in that area. And Google estimates that more than half of people are going to have smart speakers by 2020 in their homes. So what does that mean? It means travel brands are already learning to take advantage of this as we as consumers get more comfortable talking to small round boxes.
Welcome to Expedia. You have an upcoming trip to Las Vegas on November 29th. I can help you get details on your upcoming trip. Add a rental car or check your loyalty points. What can I do for you?
Get flight details.
You have an upcoming flight in 18 days. Your non-stop flight from San Francisco International to LaParra International departs at 9 a.m. on November 29th. You are flying Virgin America from Terminal 2. You are scheduled to land in Las Vegas at 10:30 a.m. local time on November 29th. Can I help you with anything else?
Yes, reserve a car.
Okay, I have economy.
That goes on really long. So what is it about voice search that's making this happen? Well, the improvements in how voice search works based on native language recognition are making us more comfortable searching by voice. So you look at the dominance of mobile search combined with the fact that we probably shouldn't be typing while we're driving, and you end up with a lot more voice search. In fact, earlier when Google was speaking, we were talking about engineering algorithms and how that ultimately results in the user experience. And their emphasis on voice search versus traditional search is really driving a lot of the evolution here. And it's turning into things that brands have to consider. When HBO decided to do a Westworld experience through Alexa, I like to call her Alexis for some reason, through Alexa, they actually did a new type of sort of data testing where they realized the more curse words came out from their users, the more frustrated their users were getting with the game, and they could identify the exact points in the game where it was falling apart based on how fast and loudly people shouted at the speaker. So this is the future. So what does that mean in terms of how searches are changing, and what does that mean more importantly to the folks in this room? So longer search terms are becoming the norm because when we ask in natural language search, we tend to use qualifiers. Give me the best. What is close to? And so what that does is that creates an opportunity for you as brands, for you as hotels, to optimize your content around these natural language phrases so that Google, Siri, Alexa can recognize it and provide it as an answer. And Visit St. Pete-Clearwater has done a really good job of this, and this is a great example. And we're going to see that example again. And Leroy's going to make that example happen.
What is the best beach in Clearwater?
Here is information from Visit Pete-Clearwater.
So my favorite part, obviously, is Visit Pete-Clearwater. So it's not perfect yet, but by optimizing your content for these voice searches, you're able to get your content at the forefront of the search results and obviously have a better chance to impact consumers. So let's talk about what makes us unique as a business, because we are not selling shoes. We have a complex product. It requires high touch. So high tech and high touch used to be a phone and a guy in a terrible haircut and a suit. This is high tech now and high touch. This is Connie. Some people recognize this. Hilton rolled these out, as in Conrad Hilton. Robots at select hotels flopped miserably. But what they did with their text-based high-tech, high-touch has been hugely successful in driving guest experience and being able to solve problems in real time for guests at a minimal amount of human effort. So what are the challenges as we wrap up? What are some of the things we are going to have to face? Well, I think somebody's getting sentenced today around this. We've got issues, obviously, around fake news. On a more hospitality-specific front, we've got bots creating fake reviews, really throwing into question the entire integrity of online review systems. I know the hoteliers in here feel there was never integrity. You've got followers that are being created, and actually, as an influencer, I can go on the open market and purchase followers who have no value to a brand, but to boost up what I am able to then charge brands. Even more crazy, we have influencers like this star here, whose name I just forgot, but she, Michaela, has 1.5 million followers. She is CGI. She is not a human being. She is created, yet brands pay her money to promote brands. And in fact, after she came out as a robot, she gained 300,000 followers. And even now, she's having some fun playing with it. So just some final takeaways here. Artificial intelligence is here. It is going to reshape travel. For the folks in this room, investing in immediate practical opportunities to take advantage of this, like optimizing for voice search, makes sense. don't lose the high touch piece that ultimately makes what we do special and creates experiences, and don't fall for fake news. I'm going to leave you with one thing. All of our jobs are going to be impacted by this. Burger King just released several very interesting artificial intelligence inspired commercials, so even I may be out of a job depending on how this goes.
The Whopper is back. It never left, but it's back. Flame grilled, just like you. With vegetables, fresh and flown, just like you. The Whopper lives in a fun mansion, just like you. Order yourself today. Burger King, have it Uruguay. BK local peers.
So I'm probably safe. I'm probably safe. It's okay. Thank you very much.
Real quick, just a couple of things from Visit Street Petersburg. It's because it's ST, and Google reads that as Street Petersburg. I'm very sad because I got you a Cortana for Christmas. Let's go right to Cortana. I didn't know that existed. Let's go right to Slido. We're going to ask the same question we asked earlier because of what Nate said, and I want you all to vote with your phones. I saw some people very lazily putting their hands up the first time. How many of you use a digital assistant that you talk to on a daily basis? Yes or no? Okay. Well, there's 2 people who say, okay, 16. Keep going, keep going. It's any of those devices, or even if you speak to Siri
If
on
you
a
speak to your
regular
phone,
basis, right?
Yeah.
Wow, really, 50-50. Okay, of that, how many people, let's do a second question. How many people have ever sworn at your device? Be truthful, I don't have to see your hands, we can't track this. Well, we can, but we won't. Woo, Lord.
That's some honesty right there.
Watch your
That's
mouths.
some
And just
honesty.
because there's some people, I'm going to change this because someone might think this is tourist sex on it. I'm going to put the M back up. There we go. Nate Huff, Miles Partnership. Give him a nice hand.